So, welcome back. This is the 10th segment of Making Sense for 7 Minutes, a summer-long series, Monday through Friday, where we are taking a survey, if you will, in bite-sized pieces of our historical narrative as is recorded in the Bible. And we are asking the immeasurably pertinent and relevant question, so what? Adam and Eve were placed in the Garden of Eden, this plush, magnificent paradise. And we're told that there was only one restriction on all of their activities. And that is that they were not to eat from the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or they would die. Nevertheless, as you know, they ate the fruit, and the most catastrophic event in all of the history of mankind took place. We refer to it as the fall. The corruption, the disease, the putrid contamination that is sin entered our world. But along with sin, death also entered our world. Adam and Eve found themselves over the years aging, and then they died. That was not as it was originally set up. But why didn't they die immediately? Well, actually, they did. Although they would not suffer physical death for a number of years, they immediately suffered spiritual death. And it is here, again, where we need to define our terms. The most succinct and accurate definition of death is one word: separation. Death is not non-existence. Death is not annihilation. You and I were created as eternal physical beings and eternal spiritual beings. And we will exist for all of eternity in a conscious state of self-awareness. So, when a person dies physically, who they are is separated from the physical world. If someone is dead spiritually, who they are is separated from God. Or, to be completely accurate, separated from the comforting presence of God. Because, it's really hard to pull off being separated from someone who is omnipresent. Where are you going to go? So, the clear indication as we look at this account, which is recorded in the 3rd chapter of Genesis, that Adam and Eve were separated from the comforting presence of God and were therefore spiritually dead, is that immediately after they had rebelled and eaten of the fruit, it says they hear the sound of God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. Which I've always wondered what that might sound like. But maybe not. And what did they do? They hid. Have they ever hidden from God before? No. Well, unless they were playing a game, in which case God always won. Now, Adam and Eve obviously were very unique in history. But look at this specifically. They were sinless with the capacity to sin. They were alive with the option to die. And once they sinned, they became no longer sinless, but sinners. There is a law of nature which says that like produces like. Apple trees produce apple trees, cats produce cats. Sinful people produce sinful people. You and I were born sinful. We were born spiritually dead. Dead in our trespasses and sins is what the Bible says. So, can you have someone who is physically alive but spiritually dead? Yes. How about physically alive and spiritually alive? Yes. That's what happens when someone enters into a relationship with Jesus. Physically dead but spiritually alive? Yes. Physically dead but spiritually dead? Tragically, yes. But that's okay. Listen, even though there's not one damned thing that we can do to bring ourselves to life, here's the deal. Jesus said that he came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. He also said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And on another occasion he said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And he who lives and believes in me shall never die. It will come as no surprise to you that I am over time. Thanks, y'all.